that, and he prophesies to Shem. That's why all of this was happening, because of the prophetic word from Noah to Shem. Because of the prophetic destiny, Shem was provoked by prophetic destiny. Why? Because from Adam to Shem was 10 generations. The principle of the tithe is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the math. 7, 8, 9, 10. That animal would pass underneath the rod, and God said, I'll take the 10th. That 10th part is mine. After 9, on the 10th, he takes that 1, and that is a tithe. Do you understand? Before Abraham tithed things, tithe goods, tithe money, he realized that God was tithing generations. Let me say that again. Before Abraham, and what propelled and provoked Abraham to give Melchizedek a tithe, because Abraham saw in the earth the perfect type of the revelation of the Jesus. He saw Jesus, says thousands of years later, Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Abraham looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Can you believe this? Abraham, an Old Testament, isn't that something? Who knew that eschatology is the birthplace of antiquity, that actually God started with the end, constructs the end, reveals the end, and then goes backwards to Abraham. Abraham saw that God was moving that way. In the 10th generation, he moves and grabs Shem, provokes Shem. And that's how we got here to the tent. That's how we got to the garment. Shem telling Japheth. Because we find out that it was actually Shem that initiated it based upon Noah's prophetic proclamation. And then he blesses Japheth and enlarges and says, you're going to be a blessing because you will be forever linked and tied to Shem. So truthfully, the blessing was on Shem. The prophetic destiny was on Shem. Because why? The one who initiated the plan to walk backwards and to cover was Shem. But even before Shem does this, he's provoked by something. You know why? Because he didn't realize this. He was a tithe. Shem God was tithing tithing generations. He tithed Shem and provoked within Shem to do what Shem did. Count, do the math. 10 generations from Shem, Abraham. When Abraham realized that God was pulling a 10th, that every 10 generation, God was raising up a righteous standard. He realized, Abraham did, that he was a 10th. That's powerful. Abraham realized that he was a 10th. Abraham realized that his life was a tithe. God tithes people. That God tithes generation. And so he did out of that. He said, if God can tithe me and pull me from paganism, pull me from heathenism, pull me from my father, if he can pull me out of that and show me prophetic destiny, then a 10th part of what I have, it's not mandated. The law is not commanding me to do this. Watch this. I'm not doing this to be blessed. You see, that's why God said what he said, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, because he had to incentivize to a fallen priesthood. He had to motivate a fallen priesthood to fall back in line. I will rebuke for the devourer for your sake. He will not destroy the fruit of your ground. That was all to incentivize and to motivate a fallen, forsaken priesthood. Abraham did not tithe out of the same spirit of the Levitical priesthood. When he saw Melchizedek, he didn't pay tithe to be blessed. He tithed because he was blessed.